Welcome back to AFTV. Straight into it, Turkish. We've lost 2-0 at Newcastle. What's there to say?
Nothing that I haven't said before. It's the same old problems, really. You know, at times this season we've tried to look past those problems and hang on to the different waves of optimism we've seen here and there, and there has been little waves of optimism here and there from the young side developing well. That hasn't changed, you know, that's still happened. But what is that? What is that for Arsenal Football Club? What is that for them? Because at the end of the day, you saw what they was like out there too.
I felt sorry for them.
Yeah, because listen, over the past 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, maybe 2, 3 months even, we've been talking about, Emil doesn't really look at it. Has he picked up Saka? He doesn't really look at it. Martinelli more recently. Has he picked up something? Is it burnout? This is what happens when you bang out young players. This is what happens when all the pressure's on them. I said it at the start of the season that this will happen, and I tried to. Because I didn't even think we'd get this far into the season without it being a problem. But we managed to get to the last 2 games of the season, and that, you know, the young players are burnt out, too much pressure on them this season. The experienced players ain't good enough, and injuries have caused problems again. Essentially, I'm going to look back at January. Mikel Arteta said January was great. Edu done a fantastic job.
But I want to pick that apart then a little bit, because I think a lot of people are feeling like January and what we left ourselves with is where a lot of this has gone wrong. Is Mikel just protecting the people upstairs when he says that? Does Mikel mean it? In which case we've got to seriously wonder about him. You know, all the rumours that there was this big budget for Vlahovic, and you're thinking, well, Bruno Guimaraes has gone, and look not only what he did tonight, but what difference he's made to Newcastle. You know, the last month or two he's been playing. We say January, but how do we pick that apart?
He's protecting the ones above him.
So do you think he was given the funds and didn't want? Sorry, you're not saying that. Do you think he didn't actually have the funds he wanted and wasn't backed the way he wanted? He's protecting them, or do you think he was backed and actually just decided that the right thing wasn't out there?
Look, I don't know for sure, people. Yeah, but all I know is that Arsenal Football Club went from Edu telling us there's no real targets for the season to going into this calendar year in 4th position with Tottenham and Man United in disarray. And then our manager saying, we need to maximise every window. He said that in the first week of January. And then go on and bring nobody in. That doesn't make sense to me. So I'm trying to make sense of it. And the only sense I can make is after a big spend of 150 million in the summer, it's Arteta, you know, do your thing. But what we'll do is we'll throw a little bait for the fans. Vlahovic, yeah, we'll say Vlahovic, he'll go Juve in the end. It'll look like we lost that to a big club. People will understand. People sure did understand. But the reality is, 2 teams were going for this top 4 battle a couple games ago, Arsenal and Tottenham. The team that are in the ascendancy going into Norwich on the last day of the season brought in 2 players. They brought in 2 players that their fans were not happy with. Tottenham fans were not happy with their January window, and they brought in 2 players that if you ask them now their thoughts on the players, they not love them, but they'll say they're a big reason to why they've managed to turn it around in the latter half of this season. So essentially the club that done something in January, surprise, surprise, gets over the line. Surprise, surprise. Is it really a surprise? It's not. We've tried to avoid it. And yes, it's easy to do when you're heading into the last 2 games and it's in your hands. It's not in our hands no more. 1 game of the season left. Tottenham got Norwich. It's not happening. So what do we do now? On to next season? Or do we ask why? Are we going to clean the slate again for the manager, for Edu, for the owners? Or are we going to ask why? Why did January happen the way it did? I know the answer. But there's still fans that don't seem to understand where this stems from. Why did Arteta get a contract after 3 losses that looked like it blew our top 4 hopes? Why? Is that Arteta's fault? Look above. That's where it's set from. So yes, Arteta protects them. And yes, that will be his downfall. But if we continue letting Kroenke bring in a manager, we're only going to get a manager that protects them. They're not going to bring in a manager that's going to out them. They're not going to do that. They had a chance last summer with Antonio Conte leaving Inter Milan and us getting knocked out of the Europa League the way we did. No. But guess what? You stuck with your man. And in the end, the bigger manager seems to be getting his club over the line. And his club is Tottenham, which pains even more than it would if it was another club. Because like I said, there's been waves of optimism here and there that fans have hung on to. But, you know, come on, man. Like, come on. It's a joke. It's a joke.
There'll come a time for where do we go from here, building on, I'm sure, supporters club and all that. I don't think tonight's the night for it. So let's focus, just last question, on tonight. Why were Arsenal so lackluster? Why? Because I looked at that team, right? I can understand you going to Newcastle and them having a big atmosphere and you know, it takes you maybe 20 minutes to get into your rhythm. I can even understand you not outplaying Newcastle for 90 minutes or whatever, but the way we went out tonight was so limp, was so pathetic. Well, exactly. Where's that, like, you know, the things that are like beyond ability that always give you a chance? Where was that?
Exactly that. And that's the experience. Come on, it's a top 4 battle. It's a top 4 battle, James. And yes, it was nerves. That's why I'm vexed.
No, well, I know.
I'm nervous in Europa League semi-finals and top 4 battles. Fuck me.
The nature of a young team? Or
I'm not blaming the young players.
That's what I'm trying to get.
The El Nenes. I'm looking at Lacazette. I'm looking at Holding the last game. I'm looking at these, man, like, what's going on? I know what's going on. They're not good enough. Yeah, we can look at El Nene recently and say, yeah, 4th, 5th choice. Okay, cool, you can give him a year. But why are we entertaining Eddie Nketiah because he scores 4 goals in a couple games? Why all of a sudden is Xhaka forgiven for everything in the past? Because what? Another season goes by where he is in the centre of our midfield and we don't make Champions League. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise, James. Like, the fans have really got behind this side throughout the majority.
No, they have.
But as fans, we've also got to realise, they're playing with us. You think when they look at all these big wigs in Arsenal, look at the fans singing Super Mick Arteta they're looking at it like, yeah, we're doing our job. We've sure blindfolded these lot again. Yeah? He's not bringing us on the way to the chant, or however the chant goes. He's not, is he? Or are we going to continue it from next season and hope again? Or are we going to sing Rob Holding better than Cannavaro? Are we going to carry on just singing, making it seem like everything is blessed? And guess what? Amongst the fans this season, it's been one of the most united it's been for years. But nothing's changed. So to the people that thought that, positivity and getting behind the club and believing would change things, isn't this the evidence that it hasn't? Because the fans have been 10-10 every game, the majority, let's say. And we're still let down at the end of the season. And people will say, we finished 8th twice, Turkish. Like, come on, be easy. No, I'm not being easy. Because it's not right to let them get away with it again. Arteta, yes, he protects them. Yes, he's a problem. Edu, not experienced enough. Yes, he's a problem. But we're asking for the same man that brought these two in to replace them. Roundabout.
Fair enough. Any final thoughts?
Done.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.